like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep. Say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home. There's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fight left. Can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Good evening. Today is another Tuesday, and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad with your girl, Adobia Brichum. I'm super excited. Why? Because we are in the last month of the year 2023. It's already December, and you know that in December, with the festive seasons, there are plenty chilling and things happening, we just get hyper. So today, you're welcome to the show. Last month, we took our time to talk about different technological devices that we can give to our children to help them with their education, and also for us as parents to monitor and also guide them when it comes to their usage. This month of December, because it's the end of the year, we'll be looking at different things. And today, what we want to delve into is innovative smart home tech for your living space. Now, why smart home technology in the first place? We have come to see that with the age that we are in, a lot of things are now digital. A lot of things now depend on technology. And in our homes, it is one of the ways that we can also up our games. So we will be getting into the discussion today. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube at Joy 99.7 FM. You can just follow us there, #JoyGeekSquad. This show is very interactive, and so when the time comes, we would like to hear from you on our WhatsApp number. We'll be sharing the number with you when the time is due. Smart home tech for your living space. My guests are here, and we'll be delving into the conversation pretty shortly, right after we share with you what is happening in the tech space. So take a listen to the emerging tech trends.
Hello and welcome to Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad with me, Michelle Ajakum. To our stories, iPhone WhatsApp users will now be able to share photos and videos in original quality. iOS users have had to suffer through lesser quality photos and videos when sharing via WhatsApp, but that will soon come to an end as the company rolls out a new feature that will allow iOS users to easily send original quality photos and videos as documents without compression or quality loss. Moving on, Spotify has officially released its wrap-up of the year. Spotify Wrapped 2023 is out. The platform has unveiled an overview of users' listening habits and created a personalized playlist of their top songs that can be saved for future listening. Again, Elon Musk hands over the first tracks to customers. After 4 years of delays, the Tesla Cybertruck has finally arrived. Tesla CEO Elon Musk hosted a delivery event at the company's factory in Austin, Texas, touting its towing abilities, bulletproof doors, and straight-line speed. Finally, Amazon's redesigned Alexa app makes smart home controls easier to use. The Amazon Alexa mobile app has been revamped with a new design and features for smart home control. The update has been rolling out since the summer, with a full release for iOS and Android devices taking place this week. The result is a streamlined app that's tailored to meeting your needs. And here are the tech trends on Joy Geek Squad today.
Hey, Ma, the way you're always getting alerts these days, I won't be surprised to hear that you have gotten a Momo for Business account by my next visitor.
Oh, I'm already on Momo for Business.
Since when?
Since. Now, it's easy to apply for a merchant SIM. All you need is a registered MTN number, your business certificate, your Ghana card, and you are good to go.
Sir.
You think you are the only one who knows what's up, eh? Look, I just dialed *5051#, selected register, and the region I was requesting the SIM from, and waited for my SMS with my reference number. You can even go online at momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh and complete the details for an even better experience.
Hey, Grandma Momo.
Sign up for Momo for Business the easy and simple way. Just visit momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh or dial *5051# and follow the prompts and be on your way to owning a Momo business account today for free. MTN.
Agriculture is for everyone, and I dream of the day that everyone will have an agriculture, vocational, or technical story to share. My name is Araba Kumsin, and I welcome you to Ghana Grows Ejuma.
Join Araba Kumsing every Friday at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and at 5:45 p.m. on Adom 106.3 FM for the Ghana Grows Ejuma broadcast. For more information on how to register for the Ghana Grows program, call the Springboard call center on 030-8255-775 or visit Springboard Zone or Ghana Grows on social media.
Ghana Grows Ejuma is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation.
Let's go produce it, to process it, to distribute. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. This is Geek Squad with Adobia Brichum. Just a few weeks ago, I was with a friend, and from his phone, he could just check what was happening in his house. And this is what is actually happening now. Today, we are looking at innovative, smart home tech for your living space. And just before we came into the studio just to get ready for this, Evans just spoke about having the smart curtains. But before we get into it, let me just introduce my guest in the studio. I have with me Winston Woche, tech consultant. Winston, you're welcome.
Glad to be back. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been. And then Michael Ajete, he's also a tech enthusiast. Michael, you're welcome. Far too kind. All right, thank you for joining me this evening as we discuss innovative smart home tech for our living space. And as I mentioned, just before we had the time to just sit down and get into the discussion, Evan spoke about the blind curtains. We just want to find out what are some of the smart tech devices that have even come up this year.
Almost everything that has come out for smart home tech has been invented. What has happened more this year is not so much as new devices. Yes, new more efficient ways and better ways of doing things are coming out. But what they're now trying to do is consolidate all of those things into one standard. We essentially turning smart devices, giving USB as ubiquity to smart home devices, because before everyone was designing their own thing, using their own style and their own protocols. So you would get one smart home device, let's say you get some lights from Philips, but you will not be able to use them with anything else. You're not, if you went and got a smart vacuum cleaner, first off, Philips don't make a smart vacuum cleaner, so you have to get one from another manufacturer, but you will not be able to use them altogether. You have to use the Philips app for the lights, and then you have to use a separate app for the vacuum cleaner, and so on and so forth. So they sat down and they said, you know what, let's bring all these things closer and closer together. So this year, the standard came out 2 years ago, but it's only this year that's really more devices are actually using it as the standard's called Matter. So whether you're using an Android, if you get a device that's Matter enabled, whether you're using an Android or you're using an iPhone, you can still add it to your smart home, because both of those operating systems have smart home managers built in. So you can just use those to add whatever device into your smart home, and it will work as natively as it possibly can. So that's what's been happening more this year in the smart home space. And people have been praising because it is quite useful. I mean, some of us beat that system long before, but for the general consumer, that's what's happening now. So everything as a user is easier for you to manage.
Okay, so as a user, I mean, you don't need to have different devices and have separate apps for operating them, but once they are Matter enabled, as you indicated, you have that option to be able to just use them more or less like in an ecosystem. Yep.
They've also, Matter has helped to push, okay, let me be direct. So Apple is very finicky to work with. Apple's smart home devices are very difficult to integrate because Apple has its privacy standards.
Yeah.
So if the device manufacturer doesn't meet their standards, they will not allow them on their platform. That's hitherto back then. So what happens is that people who wanted to go with predominantly Apple-oriented smart home setups were very limited in the devices they could purchase. There were only like 2 or 3 specific doorbells you could buy. There were very, very tight range of things. But now with Matter, it's exploded. You can choose whatever. If you like the way the Apple speaker looks, but you want to use a different type of switch, or you want to use something different, as long as all of them are Matter enabled, you could pick and choose what you as a consumer wanted. Because I mean, at the end of the day, your choice is not just a matter of the platform you are using. Cost is a very important factor in that. And also, some of these devices are very finicky. I think Michael can explain more about that. But for instance, some doorbells, you need to set them up in a certain way. If you don't have a certain type of wiring in your house, it's not going to work.
Yes, because we were going to come to that. Like, what are some of the things people have to consider when they want to get these smart devices? Because we'll be looking at the different smart devices that you can have in the different spaces, like maybe your kitchen, your bedroom, your living room. But what are the things that people should consider when they want to go ahead and get some of these devices? What are some of the devices, and what do they have to consider to get them?
I think Michael can do the technical stuff. Me, I'm going to come at this from the average consumer.
Please do, because my side there to be bad.
If you ask me, I think it is an extra chore, but getting devices that come inbuilt with batteries.
An extra chore
in the sense that when the battery dies, let's say for instance, there are certain doorbells that have an inbuilt battery, so they do not necessarily require being wired into your house's electrical system. So with that, the only issue is that when the power drains in the battery, you have to change it. That is the extra chore. So you don't need to worry about whether you have the right wiring or the right voltage or whatever. You don't need to worry about that. So for me, if you ask me, if you're a plug and play, you are getting new into the smart home, just choose very simple things. Like they are smart adapters. So they are basically just plugs you put into the wall. They come with their own apps, and they turn everything smart in the sense that now you can, if you have let's say wherever you iron your clothes, you have a smart adapter there. You put your iron in. Your iron is not smart, but the adapter is smart. Once the iron's plug is in that adapter, you can determine whether the iron is on or not, and you can remotely turn it on or off. Those are some of the very easy, beginner friendly ways. But actually, if you are going with the big bucks, then Charlie, Michael.
You spoke about the doorbell, and then you spoken about the smart adapters. Okay, Michael.
Even when you mentioned something that even brought something to mind. One thing that I try to advocate when people decide to spec their own smart homes is, first off, if you do insist on going to, and I'll come back to that issue later, try as much as possible. You have to do a lot of reading, because who you buy your devices from really matters. Some manufacturers will think, you think of the service, this device is very convenient for me and everything, but then further down the line, and it has happened quite recently, where a garage door manufacturer in the US had a smart component to their door, so anyone could control it from anywhere. And then just a month ago, they completely changed their terms of service. And it's an expensive device. Once you buy it, you're spending quite a bit of money for this automatic garage opener and closer. Yeah, but then they changed their terms of service, and that's something that I warn people about. You can't just, in general tech terms, you can't just be setting up for new accounts with everything that under the sun. Yeah. You don't know what their security is. You don't know when, how. You don't even know the company's attitude when they'll change their terms of service. Yeah. So then they decided that, you know what, we have all these people. We are changing the billing system. So now, in order for you to access the smart gate, you now have to start paying a subscription for your own garage you've installed. Because people are like,
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue, yeah. Ooh. And now you can't do anything. And that's even, that was even what I even call a slightly better situation. There have been many instances where there are smart devices that have been tied to online accounts that don't work anymore because the device, as far as the manufacturer is concerned, is out of favor for whatever reason. So they are not supporting it. So now it won't work. They may say, you know what, we are going to charge you differently for using it in a different way. Or even one egregious example that when I started building my smart home, I bought some bulbs here.
I'd like to hear more about that.
Oh, I've got stories. When I bought some bulbs here, like, okay, first and most accessible thing, let me try it out. And I did have to sign up for an account and add it to my thing, and only to discover that if the internet goes down, for whatever reason, the bulbs won't work.
Okay.
So I can't turn them on, I can't turn them off, nothing. They're just there. So whatever state they are in when before the internet goes, or whether they're on or off, that's how they are till the internet comes back. Like, nah.
So some of the things that people would need to consider would be the price, as we have discussed, the supplier, because you may just never know when terms and conditions just change for you. And then also you touched on internet connectivity. So are these for just peculiar smart devices?
No, unfortunately, increasingly, a lot of devices are more devices than not require some form of internet access. And it's actually been a thing over the past few years, and that actually hasn't changed much, where people will think up all sorts of great designs for a smart device and all the great things it can do, but then when it comes to implementing software on it, they are not great for security. If done incorrectly, and that is literally just installing the device, handing it over to your network, and then never thinking about it again, you actually stand the risk of opening up your network to being attacked by bad actors. And bear in mind, it's not, when I say attack, they are not targeting you specifically, just that you have a device that has an exploit that is available. And that exploit allows them to get access to certain things inside your system. Cameras. There was an issue a few years ago where Wyze cameras worldwide were available for public viewing if you knew the ways to go to. So imagine if you had a camera inside your home for your home security, but now you think, I'm fine, my camera is recording it. Meanwhile, the entire world, if they so wanted to. And the worst part was, when Wyze knew of this breach, they tried to suppress it. So,
yes, they don't come out.
Yeah.
To just say
so your data, forget your data, your whole image, all your dirty secrets are out there because these cameras record audio as well.
Wyze is a Chinese company, right?
I think they are American and Chinese manufactured.
Because when it comes to, so typically when these things happen, the reason they try to keep it under wraps is that if the European Union catches wind of it, you are going to pay a fine that is 4% of your yearly gross.
And that's what they want to avoid.
That's what they want to avoid. And once it comes out, the trust in, like, people are very on the fence about smart home stuff. Especially, for instance, the example Michael illustrated, the garage door.
Yeah.
The garage door is an essential part of your home. But if it is now locked behind a paywall, what is the point?
That's it.
What is the point of having this? So it's like, okay, what if you bought a door lock, like a smart door, where there are smart doors where you can just use your fingerprints to open and stuff like that, and you ain't paying attention. There's no money in your account. Your subscription expires. This is that you can go out.
Oh, actually, Winston, you reminded me. There was an issue where someone's house, who was 3 or so months ago, someone's house, he built his smart home around Amazon A, if I say it, then everybody's device activates, but Amazon A. His home was built around that. So all the devices he got were compatible with that, including his door. And there was an issue, a sort of security issue, and Amazon decided, that they were going to open his house up for, the other plaintiffs to get access to it. So he was sitting somewhere, then next thing you know, the person walks up to his door, and his door isn't locked because it's not a court case, and Amazon have decided that, okay, I'm on this side of the fence. So all your house belongs to us, whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So this are some of the issues people have with the smart home. It's convenient. It's convenient because I mean, you and I know how many times we've lost our keys, or we can't find the remote, or we can't, like, there's one thing that's missing. But the convenience comes at a cost.
The convenience definitely comes at a cost.
Right now, at least.
However, I need not.
I mean, it will be.
We'll be getting into the details of what Michael has done in his home, because he mentioned it when he was talking, getting some of the devices. So when it comes to getting smart home tech devices, what you need to do is first check the market, do your research well to be sure that what you are getting is what is good.
Or pay a professional.
Yes.
Like Michael.
Like Michael to just do the work for you.
I mean,
this is free advert, you pay. And what you also need to do will be to invest in a good router, because the internet connectivity is something that is necessary.
You know, you said this, and now I'm actually just thinking about some of the popular routers we have around, and I would be interested in running a simulation test on all of them to see which ones, because I mean, when people say invest in a good router, you are low-key hinting that, okay, you might have to buy a new router, a more powerful router that can do a little more. You might.
Is that really the case?
Which is why I'm saying that it might be interesting to test, do a market test of the different routers you get when you choose whichever. Let's say you choose MTN, the fiber, and whatever router they give you. It will be cool. I think, Michael, that's what you use.
I use MTN fiber, yeah.
Yes, so he's already tested that. So let's say maybe we'll test TurboNet. Those are, so MTN, if you are listening,
they can get us for us to test.
Yes.
Do the simulation. Okay, now we can come into the different spaces. This is where I'm sure I'll be taking more details from Michael with what he did in the setup in his home. We'll start first with the living room. What are some of the things that you got as smart tech devices?
Okay, so finally from the living room, I essentially only have 2 devices.
Okay.
Technically 3. I have my media player, I have a smart remote control, and then I have lights. All those things do various different things. The media player, essentially, that obviously runs anything that I want to see or listen to on my TV. The lights, when the sun goes down and I'm home, lights turn on, and if I am playing something, then they dim automatically. If I pause it, then they turn up back to full brightness. Then when it's bedtime, then they go off. Then the smart remote handles everything else, because not everything can easily be made smart, but some you can hand over certain things. So my TV is pretty old school. It's not even 4K. And my sound system is very analog, but most of the components support remote control. So my smart remote control handles everything else. So essentially what I do is, most of the time, the only time I need to actually touch something to control my media is literally selecting what it is I want to play.
Okay.
Aside that, most of the time, whenever I go home, TV turns on. And I've even updated the system now. When I go to when I sit on my couch, then the TV turns on. And if I'm away from the couch for more than 15 minutes, then it automatically switches the whole sound system off. And that is just that part. But here's the reason why you may want to have someone consult for you. All the components I mentioned, not a single one of them is designed to talk with each other.
Exactly. So I was going to even ask that. You mentioned you have very old television and then your sound system as well. So how were you able to just put this together to now have the smart remote to control everything?
In reading up about smart homes a while ago, I found a smart home system called Home Assistant. That it's, I won't lie, it is highly technical. It's highly technical, and it doesn't hold your hand for almost anything. Okay. But the rewards that it gives are super up there.
Smart home assistant.
No, straight up home assistant.
Home
not even
assistant,
like straight up home assistant. The rewards it gives are fully up there if you are able to. And remember, there's no such thing as mastering home assistant. You're able to get good with it, but mastering it won't happen for a while because there are so many things you can do. For example, my gate is one of those motorized gates that has the remote, the Centurion gates. They have been around town. But if you want to control it with any device aside the remote, you have to use your phone. And in order to use your phone, you have to be within Bluetooth range of the machine, which isn't always convenient. However, I found a way to be able to connect that machine to my Wi-Fi. So I've done that now. So now...
So let me ask you something. In terms of cost, I mean, you are a professional in this. If someone at home or probably in their car listening to us, they want to be able to do this, about how much should they look at spending to have that done?
If you really squeeze your eye and you want it to work right now with a few things in, no more than, how much is a Raspberry Pi now? Actually, it can even be cheaper because you don't need to use those devices anymore. So you get my entire smart home, first off, runs off, I call it a server, but it's pretty much the size of two of my fists together.
Okay.
So just one small micro PC, a decent one. I've seen one around for a cost of 1,600, even 1,400 cedis.
Okay.
If you really, really press it. In fact, you don't even need to use that. I just wanted something dedicated for that. If you have an old PC, already you have what you need to run it. But that's the thing. There's still a lot of components and things you have to pull in together to make it happen. But yeah, you can start off with what you have. For example, like I said, my TV and things, they're all old school tech. Now, I don't need to go and buy a smart TV and a smart sound system.
Okay, so the person doesn't need to have a new...
No, you don't. You really don't. I have a media player, a Google Chromecast attached to it. That's what pretty much handles all of my playing from whatever service, Netflix, YouTube, almost anything I want to play, I can play it through there. So now it's a question of, okay, that is in there, but now how do I turn the TV on and off when I need it to? Chromecast has a feature built in that you can use if your TV is HDMI capable. If not, like what I have done, instead of using that, I have a smart remote controller that I synced the TV remote to that, synced the sound system remote to that. So now, once I turn on the TV, the Chromecast also turns on and it's ready to receive whatever signals I want to send to it, including right now the camera. So I can be watching something. Winston can testify to this one. I can watch something. If someone comes to my gate
within a certain range.
Yeah, once you come onto the driveway portion of my gate, the camera will see you.
Yeah.
And then it will announce if the TV is on and playing something that, if it's a car, there's a car at the gate, there's a person at the gate. As a result, I've been able to disable my doorbell, which is very relaxing.
And it even shows you a video of...
So it even shows you a video, live as I'm watching whatever, and a video pops up in the corner showing that, this is what I am seeing.
Okay, so because you are told in advance whoever is there, you've now disabled your doorbell. You don't use it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I actually disabled the doorbell before I even installed that system.
True.
Why? Was it disturbing?
It was. Most of the people, personally, most of the people who come to my place, I know they are coming ahead of time. So if you come there, if I'm not expecting you, typically I'm not even someone I want to see in the first place. So go about your business.
But so a simple answer to what Michael is saying about cost is that it really depends on what you want.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going for? Because it can be as simple as, okay, I just want to be able to open my gate. Okay, maybe my kids come home from school, I'm at work, and I can just open the gate or see them when they get to the gate, open the gate for them. They can get in and they can do whatever. It can be something as simple and rudimentary as that. To every step I take on my stairs, there should be light and music. And when people are walking too close at a certain time, this type of music is playing in my... you can go wild with it. So the cost is very difficult to just... It's like solar. When people ask, how much will it cost to do a solar setup? What do you want to do with said solar
It depends on what consumers want to do.
Yes.
that would determine the price or the cost of whatever you're doing. I think today I watched just a video and I found it very fascinating. It was the doorbell, but it's just interesting that Michael has decided to disable his. So with this doorbell, it had the video coverage, and not only that, you were able to set up people, so it's like face recognition. Depending on who you have set up, it plays a certain signal or a certain tune. So when the person rings the bell, if it's Michael and I know I'm expecting Michael, it will play. But if it's someone I don't know at all, it plays something else. So depending on whether or not I want to see you, then I'll come at.
I've actually done similar for my parents' place. They have a proper video doorbell. And I've disabled people because the way their house is, too many people pass by there. So people are disabled. But whenever a car comes to the gates, they know. Because sometimes they are not in a position to be able to then come and see who's at the gate and whatever. But now on their phones and in the house sound system, when a car comes, there's a car.
So do they open it?
Yeah, straight from the same window where the video feed is. So you now have to find a separate app and open it. Like, okay, open the gates.
That's okay. You've done it for your parents. Have you done it for Winston?
But I just have security cameras. I don't do much smart stuff. I'm just there. Yeah, I'm just cool.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is Geeks Car with your girl Adubia Breachum. Today we have been talking about smart home tech devices, and we have just seen the different things when it comes to bulbs, when it comes to cameras, when it comes to even doorbells, and how we can implement this in our homes. But it depends on what you want, because that will determine the cost. And one of the things that we have seen is that there's a need for you to do proper research when you want to get these devices for your home. It's Christmas, people will be traveling, so it's a good time for you to just learn more about this, because who knows, you may just have a device at home. From wherever you are, you can just monitor and know what is happening. Geeks Card is brought to you by MTN. Thanks a great deal to MTN for sponsoring us. Now just stick on with us. We'll be right back after this.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year, only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN Just For You. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique Just For You package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves.
Welcome back. This is Geeks Cloud with Adobia Breachum. MTN says carrying multiple phones around can be such a chore. The unsightly bulge in your pocket, the extra weight in your purse, the stress of switching from one phone to the other to pick calls. Now imagine being able to switch between different numbers on the same phone easily and seamlessly. Guess what? You can go seamless with MTN eSIM and enjoy the convenience of connecting multiple phone numbers to one single phone or device. To check if your device is compatible, simply dial *#06# *#06#. Once you receive an EID number, it means your phone is compatible. Simply download my MTN app today to request your MTN eSIM and enjoy the sweet, seamless life everywhere you go. Today we have been discussing smart home tech devices, and especially for this season too, since we will be having a lot of people travel, leave their homes, we are just seeing the various devices that you can have in place, because this can be of great help to you. And even if you are home, you may have people coming to visit you. If you have any of these devices that we are speaking about, being the smart doorbell or having access to view what is happening around your home, at least you're able to check from the comfort of wherever you are, either open the gates for them or otherwise. And just before we went on the break, we have just asked a few things about what people can consider when getting these devices in their homes. So I'm just asking you listening to us right now, have you gotten any smart home tech device? And if yes, what are some of the things that you considered before getting them? If no, with the discussions we have had so far, what will you be looking out for to get as a smart tech device in your home? We spoke about the living space. So can we move to like the kitchen? I mean, now a lot of people also work from home.
Yeah.
So some of the things that can be used it can also be a workspace for the person. What are some other things that we can consider? We've spoken about the bulbs. We've spoken about having the doorbells, speakers, the television, connecting them, the remotes, being able to control them. What are some of the things? Kitchen, workspace.
I always say this: a smart vacuum is the best thing ever, which I still have to buy.
The vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, so it's a vacuum cleaner and a mop, because what it literally does is you set a time and you teach it the environment, and at the set time to come out, vacuum the whole floor, mop the whole floor, and go back and go and, depending on how high tech it is, some of them will wash themselves, and all you have to do is change the washing fluid ever so often. I feel like that is amazing.
If you just want to share with us, send us your message to the number 055 1111997. The WhatsApp number 055 1111997. What are some of the things you consider before getting your smart home device? And if you have some, you can just share with us how it has helped. Winston has spoken about the smart vacuum cleaner and how he would really love to use that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every bachelor who has the means.
Does it have to be only bachelors?
Oh, no, I mean, but I'm saying that if you are someone who is always working and you don't enjoy cleaning, I know far too many people who do not enjoy cleaning, and you don't want to pay for a human being to come to your home.
Yeah, because some people do
to
that.
Also don't like, some people want the convenience of not being the ones to clean, but they don't want the responsibility with dealing with another individual who will come and be asking, should I clean here? Should I do this? No. So you just get
the smart
the
vacuum
robots
cleaner
to do it
to do the cleaning for you.
Yeah.
Michael.
Funny enough, that wasn't what I was going to say, but that is the new number one item. Because like you said, it can be quite expensive, which I've not jumped for that yet, and I can't DIY that one. So yeah, a decent vacuum cleaner really does do a lot. Unless you live in a multi-story building, then they have to buy for every floor, because they still can't climb stairs. But something I'm looking forward to, that I do remember whenever Winston comes around, because of his toddler son, I'm like, you know what, this boy really does like to explore around and play with certain things he shouldn't do, especially the stove. So I'm like, you know what, I already have a system that can measure how much gas is in my stove, and one that also detects if the gas is leaking, so it turns it off. So I'm now going to add, what I was planning on eventually doing is going to add a little detection station around where the kitchen entrance is, that can tell the difference between a toddler and an adult, so that if he walks in there unsupervised, immediately turns the gas off. So when you're thinking like, the house is quiet, where is this boy? And when look, he's now, what do you call it, trying to turn my gas on like it's an engine. Like,
but I just remembered another very simple smart thing you have in your kitchen at school is he has a smart bin. It's very simple, very nice. It keeps everything nice and shut. You don't have to touch the bin. It bothers me to touch the bin every single time. So you just
imagine having to change it.
Yeah, you just wave your hand, it opens
for you.
You throw your trash in. I mean, if, like I said, everything is about price. There are some that will zip up the bag of trash for you, so you put specific bags into it, and when it is full, it will seal the bag for you, and you just pick up the bag like a handbag and you just bounce and take it out. But
that's a higher level.
Yeah, those are high. Like I said, smart home, there are levels to it, and the levels are price walled. Yeah.
Okay, so Evan spoke about the smart curtains. Is it something that you consider getting?
I'm actually planning on building one next month.
You know what's funny? Yeah? I've been designing a smart device that will leave my bed for me, because God, I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered.
So you want to have a smart device that will just lay your bed for you?
Think about it. You wake up and it makes you feel like, I know people who, I mean, these self-help gurus, they always tell you that when you wake up and you lay your bed, it is a good sign. Yeah. That's nice.
There's a difference between, what they mean is, when you get to a laid bed, it feels good.
That's it for me. They usually say lay it yourself too, like when you
start.
You start your
you start your way. But what if I get the robot to lay it for me? I feel like that's I'm surprised that doesn't exist. I found a smart blanket that, if let's say you and your partner are in bed and you have separate temperature requirements, like for instance, you like it to be slightly warmer, maybe your partner likes it to be slightly colder, you can actually put it into the app of the blanket, and it will keep your partner cool and to keep you warm.
Interesting.
That's amazing.
I think I've just thought of a couple friend who need it. So shout outs to you, Lawrence, Oshe, Wampo, and Ama Wampo. This is something that I'm sure they can get, because like you're saying, one of them would like to feel warm and the other would like to feel cold. So a smart blanket. Interesting. There are smartphone printers, smart scale, where you can just be sitting down and then they just measure your pulse and all that for you.
Oh yeah. Speaking of pulse, how is the Google Pixel's temperature? I remember we talked about it. How is that going? Michael, do you know if
it hasn't gotten as bad as the Samsung what do you call explosives from years back? So
it hasn't blown up yet.
So we can just take it like that.
Yeah, so far so good.
We would like to hear from you. Just send us your WhatsApp message on the number 055 11 11 997. 055 11 11 997. What are some of the things that you considered when getting your smart device? That's if you have some at home, the smart home device. Or what are the things that you would look at considering when you want to get any of these devices? We have a message from Lilia Nafra, and she's saying, good to know you are discussing smart home tech. Thanks for that. Okay, Mike, you mentioned you are going to be building the...
Yeah, unfortunately, where my study is in prime view. Yeah, while I can see my gate just fine, it also means that the sun also has a very good view of me every day, and it makes working difficult. So like, hey, you know what, I have blinds here, and it's always annoying to have to open it and close it. So I have a sensor that can tell whether the sun is directly shining on it or not. So all I need now is a motor that's like, okay, when the sun is out at this level, close the curtain. And then, because I still want to see outside, when it's a bit more cloudy, it's been so, then open it again. But like I said, there's what I've been telling people for smart homes, that the limitations, aside the wallet, are your... the wallet is one limitation, but the bigger limitation is your imagination. Almost anything that's... the only exception is things that you need human dexterity to do, like unloading a washing machine, unloading a dishwasher, those, and even changing a dustbin. Even that, Winston said, is while you still have to take the bin out, even the additional step of replacing the bag now can be done much. Like, it will get to a point where it will still take a few years, but yeah, the real limitation is what is it you want to be the house to be able to do for you.
I really like how you put it.
I mean, to add to the imagination thing, it's very true, because like for instance, his design where when he just sits in the couch, the TV comes on. It was a situation he had to think about and be like, okay, this is actually something I would want. So okay, then how am I going to go about it? So it can be anything.
This is like, once you picture it, you can achieve it
within reason.
Yes.
There's a caveat there. Yes. Disclaimer. Okay, so we all know, though, we all have those days when you are low on everything: energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advance service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is to dial star 506 hash, star 506 hash, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you are low on airtime or data. Please remember, all terms and conditions apply. Before we wrap up today's discussion, we just want to listen to the quick tech fixes.
Hello there. My name is Michelle Ajakum, and as usual, I bring you some tech quick fixes and tips here on Geek Squad. Want a quick way to download a YouTube video on your mobile device or laptop? Now here's what you can do. 1. Open YouTube from your mobile or laptop browser. 2. Edit the YouTube URL link by adding SS right before the word YouTube without leaving a space. 3. You will be redirected to savefrom.net. 4. Click on download, and that's it. Voila, here you go. So go ahead, download your YouTube videos and enjoy.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with Adobia Brichum. Today we've been talking about smart home tech devices, and there have been a lot that we have discussed. Just in case you missed it from the beginning, everything will be on YouTube and on Facebook at Joy 99.7 FM. We have a message from one of our listeners or viewers, from Gabriel. He says, good evening. Is it possible to view your home on your smartphone? How so?
I mean, as long as you have the cameras that will be connected to your Wi-Fi, that will be connected to your phone through, I mean, depends on which platform you want to use or which device you want to use. Michael's own is unique because he built that system himself. So everybody has the way they are going. But let's say, for instance, if you are using a popular brand like Ring, it's an app. The doorbell or the cameras in the house are connected to Wi-Fi. When you leave home, you just open the app, you can see, or you can even record.
There are many ways of getting that done. If you want to view your home, that one is not the main problem. It's actually surprisingly easy because almost every camera maker now has a companion app or system. But like we said before, there are certain things you need to consider a bit more seriously. Is their security safe? Is their app? Is their policy safe? Like all of those sorts of things.
Okay, so some of the other smart devices that we can have in our home, we've already spoken about the smart vacuum. There is the smart irrigation controller. We have the motion sensor, that's night light, and then Oral-B smart toothbrush.
I should get that.
Yes, you should. Our time is already up. So in 30 seconds, what will be our final words? I'll start with you, Winston.
Smart homes are an amazing idea as long as you know what you're doing and you need to do your due diligence. It's one of those things that can just run away with you very easily. So if you want to get into it, just contact a professional if you cannot be bothered to do the research.
Okay, we have a professional here. So
a professional, Michael, you say? I know. I mean, I'm a tech enthusiast, but I know some professionals who I may or may not be related to at shcafrica.com or Smart Home Conversions Africa. Just search for Smart Home Conversions Africa, shcafrica.com. All the info you need about getting a smart home. You can come and advise you on how you can get started, because I'm not going to lie, living in a smart home is super convenient, super easy.
It's super convenient and super easy. And like you said, It's just about what you imagine. Just let it be within range. You should be able to have it implemented in your home. It is Christmas, and as we are traveling to the different places, and even sometimes just going out of the homes, it is good for us to even think about these. If you don't have any of these devices yet in place, it is a good time to do your research, know more about it, know about the supplier, because you may just never know. You may start using it, it's free, before you know it, now you have to start paying subscription, like we heard from the story that Michael shared with us today. And there are many and countless devices out there that we can use in our homes, in our living space. This has been Geek Squad with your girl Adobia Breachum. God willing, next week we'll be meeting same time on Joy at 7 p.m. Have a good evening.